They can help you out. It costs money though.
So every once in a while I'll get through.
Well, and it's
Flash drive, looks like grab right now out of one of my drawers and open it up and it's like, oh, I haven't updated this one since 2015 and I find all of them. We're gonna call. We're gonna call this meeting to order now at 7:38 p.m. Thank you all for your patience. And we'll get started with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Moving on to roll call, please.
Yeah.
Okay, roll call. Supervisor Carter.
Here, look.
Trustee Hickey. Here. Trustee Jones.
Here.
Trustee Michael, I'm sorry. You're gonna count that for me.
Krasinski.
Krasinski.
Here.
That's close. Thank you. Trustee Ruckus. Here. Assessor Casper.
Will not be in front of
Highway Commissioner Weiser.
Here.
Tax Collector David Young.
Here.
And Clerk Liskey here.
All right, invite anybody up who would like to give public comment. Please note that public comment is limited to 1 3-minute comment per person. Okay. Hearing none, moving on to the next item on the agenda, approval of the July 18th, 2024 special meeting minutes. Can I get a motion to approve, please?
I make the motion.
Second. All right, Rockets and Jones, please take a moment to review the notes. Let me know if you have any comments before we move on to roll call. We'll give you all a minute.
You just handed me the regular minutes?
Yes.
Regular minute.
Oh, so it's,
It's
I
special.
call it special because we had to postpone the meeting, so it's our regular date,
Got it. Okay.
because of the quorum issue. So the only issue, I see is we don't have any information under the actual warrant of improvement, or warrant of appointment. As far as the motions and the.
All right, you guys.
Okay, so let's postpone.
Yeah, sorry, you guys were
Okay.
trying to crunch it through.
No problem. So I'm
Table it.
gonna go ahead and move that we table the approval of the meeting minutes pending the adjustments to our September meeting. Can I get a second on that motion, please? Our motion, second, Hickey, roll call, please.
Supervisor Crowner.
Yes.
Trustee Hickey.
Yes.
Trustee Ruckus.
Yes.
Trustee Krasinski.
Abstain.
Right, thank you. Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll bring those up back in September.
Sorry about that, guys.
No problem. Next item on the agenda, approval of the July 18th, 2024 executive session minutes. Can I get a motion to approve, please?
Motion.
I second that.
All right, motion Jones, second by Rockets. Clerk Liskey provided the executive session minutes via email. I reviewed them and they looked good. Any comments before we move on to a roll call for that portion? Okay, here no, roll call, please.
Trustee Crowner.
Yes.
Trustee Hickey.
Yes.
Trustee Ruckus.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
And Trustee Krasinski recused, right?
Abstain, yeah.
Okay, next item on the agenda, approval of the rideshare access program reimbursement agreement. Can I get a motion to approve, please?
Motion.
All right, Jones and Hickey, just to give you all, I'm sorry?
Can I ask?
Yes, that's, I'm gonna, it's exactly into that, no problem. So for the residents who are not aware, we do subsidized rides for seniors and individuals with intellectual disabilities and so forth, and physical disabilities as well. And so we contract for those services with Pace Suburban Bus Program. They have subcontractors under them who help to fulfill those rides for our residents. It's probably outside of anything that we do directly here, it's outside of probably the road district, it's the second most utilized service, I would say, for us as a township. This agreement is to essentially expand it. One of the issues that the PACE programs have run into, especially on the subcontractor side, is recruitment for drivers. So one way that they sought to get around that issue is essentially adding Uber into the, as a approved essentially subcontractor under PACE. So this is the new agreement that they've asked all of the participants in the Ride DuPage program. I know it's called Ride DuPage or Will County, but we're in it because of Naperville. They asked everybody to approve it. Now, because Uber is no longer a pilot, but they are a permanent part of the program. So this essentially is just our agreement to maintain that program.
And there are geofences around where Uber can take people, so. Ride Page is more unlimited typically, but this has constraints on it.
Yeah, because it's a more costly option than the other programs that they utilize. So they, yeah, as Trustee Hickey was saying, there's geofencing, so they're not allowed to be picked up or dropped off within outside of that geofence. Our other programs they have unlimited use. So, you know,
You can't take a ride to Rockford or something.
yeah, well, actually.
On
Oh,
Ride
can
Page,
you?
you
You
can.
can, yeah.
really? Oh, okay.
It's subsidized, and we're not paying 100% of the cost, it's a subsidized rate,
Yeah,
right?
okay,
And so, and there, we're not gonna put restrictions on where people go, because you never know, if they have a specialist and there's only the best specialist that's available for them, especially from a medical perspective, right, and it's out in Rockford, who am I to tell them that they shouldn't go out to Rockford for that specialist? We have a lot of folks who will utilize it, for example, going to Rush, right, hospital system in the city, or a Northwestern hospital system in the city. And so that's why we don't have the restrictions on that, and because it's primarily, I'd say the overwhelming majority of those who are utilizing the program are seniors, and so there, a lot of them are also utilizing it for their medical rights.
Okay.
Any
I
questions?
didn't know that we had that benefit.
Yeah, so if you know anybody who is
Did the
interested,
community offer that benefit?
yeah, so if you know anybody who, this is for everybody, right? If you know anybody who's interested and who would benefit from this program, have them call into the office, and either Carolyn or Bill will help them to get signed up for the program. And excuse me, with all the application requirements.
And what's the definition of a senior?
I think it is 65 plus.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
The schedule or attachment A mentioned that the ride must be completed entirely within DuPage County. I'm not sure what that meant.
Yeah, so the actual geofence, they have adjusted it, and I'll make sure that they've always had the conversation. They've used this boilerplate because it is the Ride DuPage program. We are the only, I believe, township who is not within DuPage County who is a participant in the program. The reason that we're a participant in the program with DuPage County is because we get grant funding through the city of Naperville. And so even though we're the Will County portion of Naperville, they still kind of loop us in with them, because it'd be too complicated for them to separate a portion for their DuPage County townships and a portion for the Will County townships and so forth. So, but they do have the ability to stay within our township boundaries as well.
No airports unless they're medical, basically.
Okay, okay, moving on to roll call, please.
So this is this is essentially an amendment to the original agreement, an amended agreement, so I can
Yes.
refer to that. Okay,
There's a typo.
Where's the typo?
That's Carolyn spelled the name with an E.
Which page is that on?
Where the payments are sent.
Attention, Carolyn. Okay, I see. Well, that doesn't impact our ability to get this done, but I appreciate that. I'll make sure that they update their record clerk. Thank you.
moving on to roll call.
Yes.
Supervisor Crowner,
Yes.
trustee Hickey,
Yes.
trustee Ruckus.
Yes.
Trustee Krasinski.
Yes.
Thanks, and trustee Jones.
Yes.
Okay, approval of the ride share access program reimbursement agreement passed unanimously 5-0.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda, approval of bills and claims, town and road district. Can I get a motion to approve, please?
Motion?
All right. Hickey and Jones, any comments or questions on the bills? You all should have received that via email, and then have the summary packets in your folders.
Did you get the summary?
I'm there, what? I did my email.
Put it in the back. Right there. Give you all another minute to review that before we move on. Everybody good for a roll call? Okay,
Okay.
roll call please.
Moving on. Supervisor Crowner,
Yes.
trustee Hickey,
Yes.
trustee Rockus.
Yes.
Trustee Kuzlinski,
Yes.
trustee Jones.
Yes.
Approval of bills and claims for July unanimously passed 5-0.
Thank you. Moving on to report, Senior Administrator Bill Green.
What's up, August 2024? Attended two webinars put on by Caitlin Justice, which is Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. We do have one current grant from Harry Benton that is on process of being released. Tamarack is the area that'll impact. Last week at potluck lunch here was put on by the road crew. It was extremely nice to have enjoyed lunch as a group. It builds relationships when we do that. Our IATA meeting, which is the Illinois Association of Township Administrators, met in Schaumburg. We're going to be co-hosting the September meeting with DuPage Township over there at DuPage Township. There is some trainings that are going to be out and about through IATA at Northern Illinois, Naperville. There's some more to follow, and that could be really for anybody that's a trustee or whatever could go to it if they wanted to. Also discussed MACI, which is the Medical Assistance Catastrophic Insurance Program. And that was discussed. There were 30 different townships there. Not one of them have ever had a claim, and they've been paying all these for many, many years on this insurance. And so my previous employer stopped paying MACI 8 years ago. It's something we have to look at. And
I don't believe we.
Do we have it here?
we don't. We don't. Yeah.
They've said.
Yeah. Yeah,
Invoices for a few times.
Yeah, and it's based on your population, and it's it actually can get pretty expensive, and not one of 30 townships had ever had a claim in 20-something years that they've had it. MTA, which is our new Metropolitan Township Association, I've been to one meeting, and it was on Zoom. It was a little hard to follow. They're working on their recording system and stuff like that, but they look here to the near future of better, bigger and better things. I do want to actually just mention personal items because things go around and people wonder, and it's hush hush behind the scenes. My wife does have a cancerous area in her left lung, and she's going to have surgery on the 16th to have it taken out. And hopefully after that, everything will be great. Path to Recovery, which is a program that I'm involved with as far as Overdose Awareness Night, is August 28th at the Naperville Riverwalk Grand Pavilion from 5:30 to 8. I will actually be one of the speakers this year to tell Alex's story, and I've been practicing, and I'm really close now to getting through the entire 5 minutes without tearing up. Thanks to Carolyn for being my last test audience. I got down to the last sentence of the whole 5-minute thing before I actually started tearing up, and she kind of laughed at me because it sounded like I almost got there. And when you start getting to the point where you're thanking people for everything they've done to help your family, it gets a little emotional. But if anybody's available on that night, you just want to come by, swing by. The Grand Pavilion is in Knock Park, right at the bottom of the hill from the VFW hall. It's just a gathering of a lot of people, and they tell some stories, and they have a candle lighting thing with little electronic candles, so we don't have actual fires out there.
What's the name of the event again, please?
It is Path to Recovery's Overdose Awareness Night,
And
and it's August 28th at the Naperville Riverwalk.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Great, thank you, Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions for Bill before we move on? Okay.
Assessor Katzberg.
Assessor Katzberg sent me her report. She said, my report is appeals have begun for our office. That concludes her report.
Brevity.
Highway Commissioner Tom Weiser.
It appears, the continuation from the last month's meeting, we appear to be fully recovered from the storms that came through. We did do a couple more runs through the neighborhoods doing branch pickup. We should be done with that. The one thing that, the reason why I bring this up is I just want to reiterate and, put in the notes that all the residents take advantage of the your garbage pickup. Every week, they can take 4 or 10 4-foot by 1-foot bundles of branches or 10 craft bags. Or you can take a yard waste sign we have right there in the lobby and put it on a garbage can. And then they'll pick up supposedly 10 of those too, of branches, every week. So it's kind of like a little mini branch pickup. We did pick up a lot of branches from all that damage, but we also got residents who feel like there's more coming, and we're trying to steer them towards that. And then our first branch pickup is the first week of September, so not too far away. So that's want to make.
Meaning the first regular one, is that?
The first regular one. First one. Thanks for
So
clarifying.
if you buy those yard bags, they'll pick up
10 of them.
up to 10
Yeah,
yard
for
bags.
free.
Oh, okay.
For free. You
No
don't pay the
stickers,
250.
no, nothing,
No
just
stickers. No,
5
nothing.
yard bag.
Yes, that's really 25, it's 250 for each one for Naperville. With our residents, those are all free, up to 10 every period.
Okay, well,
And then we continue to do our drainage work. We've probably done over 1,000 feet of regrading of ditches and drains this summer. It's kind of our focus until the fall, when we start to get ready for the snow plowing.
All right, good. Thanks, Tom. Any questions before we move on? All right, thank you. Trustee Hickey.
Okay, I think I reported already on our July seniors luncheon, which was National Hot Dog Day. We served hot dogs, 27 people came. This month, we will have our luncheon on August 21st. We're planning to serve pizza and bingo will be played. There's a couple of hangups, which the first is we're having some difficulty with the site. The church has been really wonderful in letting us use Wheatland Salem Church for many years as a site for free. But they don't have staff there anymore, so it's getting increasingly difficult to get in a timely manner to get set up for the event. Carolyn and Bill helped so much last month when it was really last minute. So that's one issue. The other issue is the room that we meet in has carpet that appears to be like very loose, and I'm concerned we have a lot of seniors who have mobility issues. So we met as a senior committee yesterday and talked about some possibilities. But they're all places that would have some cost associated with them. So it would change our, anticipated budget by quite a bit. So we're gonna continue to try to work with the church. If I can get him to move us to the gym, then there won't be concerns about the carpet. But getting in and out, he said he's gonna give me a toad. I haven't heard back from him, so I hope that I get that. But it's on the 21st. I actually have a conflict on the 21st, so I'm trying to figure out how that is going to work out. Then on August 6th, it was National Night Out in Aurora, or National Night Out, but I was in Aurora at Wheatland Park, where I volunteered for Alderman Ed Bug, and I painted faces for 3 hours and not very well. So if you see a kid with a really janky seahorse on his face, that was me. But that's all I have.
All right, thank you.
In terms of locations for the lunch, have you looked at other kind of churches in the area? Because I know I know I've gone into my church many times during like the day and there's nobody going on. So Like, have you talked to Holy Spirit at all? Cause that's. not-
I don't have a contact
Okay,
there.
I can give you, I'll connect you with somebody.
That'd be great,
because
thank you.
There's gotta be somebody, right? What'd you say?
Close.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's nice, yeah, that's nice, it's in, most of the issue is a lot of the churches have changed their format since COVID, and they don't have staff on site during the week. So. Most,
How much staff do you need?
just somebody to let us in the building.
Just somebody, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm fairly certain they have somebody there. Most of the day, cause they have all, they know programs, but I know they have like staff who like run the front desk and. Like the religious education people are there, so yeah, let's talk
Okay,
afterwards.
sounds good, thank you.
Sure.
All right, thank you. Next is trustee Jones.
Heard from a few residents this weekend, they heard about DuPage Township's, assessment program. How to appeal property taxes, etc. Might be nice if we could do something like that here. That's what they said.
We could pass that along to
Yeah.
Assessor Catsburg. Anything else?
What was
Thank you.
different than procedure here? Like, what were some of the comments? I'm curious.
They just wanted an after hours event, I think.
Oh, I think it was more like a workshop,
Yeah.
a how to.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like a how-to thing, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
And it was done after hours, so.
All right, thank you. Trustee Krizwinski.
No report, just wanted to say, look forward to serving the residents of Wheatland Township and working with everyone here on the board. That was all.
Thank you, excited to have you. Trustee Ruckus,
No, but
okay. Clerk Blisky.
I don't have much of an update either. We actually didn't get any new FOIAs. I'm still working through one that's been kind of involved rather. So thanks to everybody who's pitching in and helping out. I hope to wrap that one up tomorrow. Nothing else.
Any questions for Clerk Blisky? All right, tax collector Scriven Young.
So, we had one grave sale, at the cemetery, and then thank you for last month, you guys approved the. Check for our license, which, we got, they don't print them out anymore, they just come electronically, so we got the electronic copy today. And I forwarded it on to Carolyn, who hopefully will, update the plaque or the thing that's on the wall. So that's it. That's all I got.
Any questions for Mr. Diaz-Why? All right, my report.
Supervisor Croner.
I've just been kind of starting to go through, I like to do it kind of periodically, our vendor list and just making sure, where we stand kind of on our contract, what's kind of coming up. What we need to be on the lookout for, and then also just making sure that I'm, having conversations with folks to make sure that we're getting the best bang for our buck here at the township. And so should I find anybody that is worthy of kind of consideration and having a discussion for potential change in vendors, I will be sure to let you all know. Also always just doing my best to talk to folks at other townships and other municipalities as far as kind of best practices and make sure that we're doing what we gotta do here. And then I did see in Naperville this weekend, yes, this weekend is the India Day Parade. So for anybody who wants to give that a check, I highly recommend going there celebrating. So that concludes my report. Any questions before we move on to adjournment? Here, no, can I get a motion to adjourn? All right, motion by Joan, can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Bye.
Opposed, abstentions, thank you, our meeting concludes at 8:01.